Welcome back, Midday Show. Hugh Douglas, Joe Gillian, joining us right now to talk Phils, the deadline, and we got to get some more context on the quote in his story a couple days ago, Bryce Harper, when Bryce used Eugenio Suarez's name in there about, will he move around. Todd Zolecki, MLB.com, also the Phillies show with Jim Salisbury and Ruben Amar. He's with us right now on the eve of the trade deadline. Todd, how you doing?
Todd.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, Todd. My question to you is, what happened, if you know any more information about the Bryce Harper commissioner thing, was that as bad as I made it out to be?
It was funny talking to Bryce about it the other day. He didn't want to get any details, but obviously he didn't dispute any of the details. And it just kind of shows you where these two sides are going forward in terms of the labor dispute that with the CBA expiring after next season. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think everybody is. Nobody wants to lose baseball, but two very passionate people.
That's the way you want to frame it today?
Yeah, two very passionate people talking about a very serious matter. So I hope when they get to the negotiating table, it's going to be rough, I'm sure, but hopefully they can get it done.
So, Todd, Bryce is about, 6'6", ain't he? About 6'6"?
No, he's 6'2", Hugh.
What you talking about? I'm just asking Todd. Todd's there every day. He know. He about 6'6", right? About 6'6".
He's a big dude.
See?
He's a big dude.
Yeah,
I
about
don't
6'6",
think he's 6'6", but he's a big dude.
Man, why don't y'all be quiet and let Todd talk, man? He giving us the skinny.
Well, he is. All right, so we need the skinny on this. So, Todd, we saw your article the other day with Bryce and kind of reiterating that he would play the outfield if the team acquired another infielder and they needed someone to move there. And we were struck by, in the quote in your story, he used Suarez, Eugenio Suarez's name. Now, what did you ask him? What was the question that led to him saying? Because I feel like around this time of the year, players generally don't say, this specific player. They will say, if we get an infielder. What did you ask him? How did he land saying, yeah, if we get Suarez, I'll play the outfield, but maybe jump back to first on days he has off?
Right, yeah. I mean, in fairness, I did say to him, because as I was talking to him about this, remember, he went to the Phillies in the offseason and said, I will go to the outfield if you can get the right guy. And that right guy was Pete Alonso in the offseason. Talked to him again about it in spring training. Said, yeah, that offer is still on the table. So as I circled back to him on Monday and said, I just want to make sure, is that offer still on the table? And he said, yes. And we were talking about it. And I said, you're probably not going to do it for just anybody. I said, obviously, a guy like Suarez would be a guy you would move out to left field for, consider a position change. And he said, yeah, absolutely. And that's why he mentioned him by name, because I first mentioned Suarez by name. But, he did add in there, he's like, Dave's not going to ask me to move unless we get the right guy. And the right guy, I think, in the minds of everybody, is a big right-handed bat or just a bat that you can fit into the middle of the lineup to hit behind Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. And Suarez is really the guy. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get it done. Fortunately, the imaging on his right hand the other day turned out to be negative. But Bryce wants to win, and he's played the outfield before, obviously, and he had no problems reiterating the fact, yes, if they come to me, if we get the right guy, I will 100% move to left field or to the outfield to make this happen, make this work.
Todd, it kind of feels like with what Bryce has said and the way that this, some of the stories we hear coming out of the clubhouse, that this team is feeling kind of, I don't want to say desperate, but they're kind of pressed to try to win a World Series. Now, that's the right way to assess this? Yeah,
I think so. I think they absolutely. I mean, they're very smart. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They know Kyle Schwarber's a free agent. JT Realmuto, Ranger Suarez are free agents after the season. They know that these guys are in their early 30s, and how many more years of injury-free, productive baseball do all these guys have left in them? And so they know that they will really want to strike right now. And if you talk to any player, I remember Roy Halladay saying this before the July 2011 trade deadline, saying, listen, I want Ruben to go out and get somebody big. I want him to go out and get somebody big. Prospects were great, but he's like, I don't care about the prospects. I might not be here in 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? When these guys come up and start getting productive, I want to win now. And I think all of those players in the clubhouse feel that way. They want the Phillies to go out, get a closer, get a bat, do anything that they can to give them the best position to win. I mean, they feel like Kyle Schwarber will be back next year, but maybe he's not. Now what? So, are you going to not make a big move because you think Aiden Miller are you 100% sure he's going to become an all-star? Are you convinced that 3-4 years down the road, Eduardo Tait's going to be a great catcher, or Arun Escobar? Those are the questions they need to ask. But in the minds of the players, again, they want to win now. And so, hey, trade a prospect to get it done.
Todd, as we forecast this thing a little over 30 hours out, the reporting seems to still be bullpen piece and a bat. Do you get a sense it matters more to them what the better one, I'll put it this way. If they could get a great bullpen arm and a pretty good bat, or a great bat and a pretty good bullpen arm, what do you think their preference would be down the stretch here?
I think the closer, the really good lockdown ninth inning closer, I think is their priority. There is interest in Ryan Helsley, obviously. There's interest from the Cardinals in some of the Phillies' top prospects. They've been scouting him. Like any team that has a closer has been scouting the Phillies system. But I think the Phillies understand that they really need that ninth inning guy to lock things down. And then you can bump down Strahm and Kerkering. You get Alvarado for the final few weeks of the season. Maybe you move Jesus Luzardo into the bullpen at some point. But I think that is the priority. Just because Suarez is a rental, maybe the asking price is going to be too high. Luis Robert Jr., he would make some sense for sure, but at what price? And, if they don't do anything to improve the offense, maybe that's the time that they call up Justin Crawford and give him a look. Dave Dombrowski kind of hinted at that last week when he spoke in Philadelphia, saying, we need to kind of see how things shake out over the next week or so before we really figure out what we're going to do with Justin Crawford. I took that as, if they don't make an upgrade offensively, that Justin Crawford is going to be up at some point.
Todd, last one for you. As you kind of look into your crystal ball, if you had to guess, do you think this deadline will be different than the last two? I mean, the last two, they try to put around the margins, right? It was Rodolfo Castro, Michael Lorenzen, and then last year Tanner Banks, and we know they tried with Austin Hayes, and unfortunately his tenure here didn't work out. Do you get the sense this one's going to be different, and however the musical chairs play out, that they're going to land someone that we're going to be excited about, and they are too?
Boy, that's a great question, because right now I feel like there's a lot of, the prices are so high all across baseball. But I do think that Dave Dombrowski understands this situation, and I do think when push comes to shove, he's going to do what is needed to improve this team, even if it's just that lockdown closer. Maybe it is only Ryan Helsley, but maybe, I do think they're going to do something of significance. I heard what Jim said yesterday, I guess it was, that there'd be disappointed veterans in that clubhouse, and I absolutely, believe that is the case, that they want to win. Like I said earlier, they see what's going on in front of them. They know who's a free agent. They know they're getting older. They want to strike now. And so I think there will be some disappointment if they go, hey, all we could do is get this eighth inning setup type guy, and we're just going to move forward with what they have.
It's going to be a fascinating next couple of days. Todd, we appreciate it. We know it's a busy time for you. Thank you for hopping on. We'll be listening to the Phillies show, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you, Todd.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
There he goes. Todd Zolecki, MLB.com.